everybody. Welcome to our most recent Dealer Insider. We have Janet Feliciano with us today. Janet, thank you so much for joining us. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you, Susan. It's great to be here.
Okay, I would love to know how you got into the automotive industry, where you are. Just tell me everything about how you're here, what you're doing, where you're going.
This is my 29th year. So I started when I was about 10. And I started in retail when I was 14 years old. And then by 20, I was like, okay, I need to do something a little bit more real. And I went into the automotive industry. Somebody had suggested for me to go. On my first day, I met my husband. He was supposed to train me. It's almost 29 years later that we're still together, 2 kids. And I've had an amazing career. I started in sales. I've done the finance desk. I've worked in the owner retention department. That was my savior through having my kids, being on the phone rather than in person. And then I became the general manager. I was fortunate enough to be with a group for 20 years that really mentored me and paved the way for me, and that saw that women are sometimes more successful than the male in this industry. Oddly enough, right? There's a lot of males here. But with that said, I was able to run my own stores for probably 7 years. And then an opportunity came up, presented to me by my brother. And he's like, I think it's time for us to go work for ourselves. So I'm like, okay, great. Hyundai Genesis of South Brunswick became available. And we took a leap of faith. And here we are 3.5 years later. The store is very successful. It's a beautiful store with 2 fantastic brands.
That's awesome. So you get to work not only with your husband, but your brother too. Any other family?
Well, my brother is not. No, my brother's not in the business with us. He's in digital advertising, and that's how we got there.
Awesome. Well, perfect. I know you guys do things a little different than your competition down the street. Can you let the audience know what you guys do that, kind of sets you apart from everyone else?
Sure. We tried to hire all our team members that are not necessarily in the automotive industry. We try to hire people that are from hospitality, bartenders, anyone that's used to talking to people, that has a personality, because our trade is not really hard. It's about people. So we try to hire people that would have commonality with our customers. We try to hire local people from our area so they can have that right away, of breaking the ice rather than not knowing what to talk about. People come in for the brand already. So it's great to have somebody that has that personality that's going to take care of the customer rather than just having somebody that knows the business, so to speak.
That's very interesting and so true. Do you feel like you're always recruiting, like when you go out to dinner or you go to the mall?
Always. As a matter of fact, I was just in Aruba, and I met a really nice family with a 24-year-old son, doesn't know his way. I gave him my card. 2 months later, he calls me. He's like, does that offer still stand? I go, absolutely. So everywhere, even on the beach.
That's awesome. So I kind of want to go back to when you purchased the dealership. Customer base,
Sure.
Did that change? Did you retain some of the same customers that were there before? How was that evolution?
I apologize.
No, you're fine.
We have a very interesting customer base. We have a huge customer base. We have over 12,000 people in service in our area, which is a lot of people, a lot. And unfortunately, the person we bought the store from did not care for the retention part of the business and had shut down 4,800 warranty contracts the day we closed. So that really, really, really did a number on the people in the area. And they didn't understand that it was the same facility, but a different owner. We didn't buy his bad book of business. We bought what we thought was the good book of business. And unfortunately, they were all soured. And I mean, I had people walking in, I had Channel 12 News, and people walking in every day saying, where's my money? Why didn't you pay off my car? So for about 4 months, we had what was called a beef office set up. And I know it's not a good terminology, but we had to take care of our customers. and we did a lot of goodwill. But at some point, you only can do so much. But we have been taking care of our people where they now know they walk in and they say, oh my God, it's a different aura in here. I feel a different vibe, and that's really important because I pride myself in having the same people. I always believe that if you haven't taught your people to the maximum of your ability, then you can't expect them to do anything. So I've had a lot of people that are there with now 3 years, which is really great because customers are coming in now seeing the same people. It's not this turnover because they're running away from the customer.
Right. That's awesome. I always like to ask any dealers that I interview about their service department. It's such a big part of the dealership, and especially right now.
Backbone. Mhm. Sure.
Exactly. What are you doing? What are you doing differently? What are you doing to bring people and continue to bring people into the service lane?
So we have a very interesting way of bringing people in. We obviously market to them, the regular coupons, all that kind of stuff. That still works. But I think what we do now is we convert our Service Drive customers into our own database, and we're able to keep in touch with them based on their mileage, based on their warranty, even if they didn't buy the car from us. And that allows us to keep our relationship going. They're constantly getting not constantly, but once a month, they do get a piece of mail from me, whether it's email, in a text, whether their mileage is up, whether their warranty is up. We like to let them know. Again, it's not necessarily a reason just to bring them back every time, but it is a constant communication. Um, at this point, we're probably 3 weeks out to even make an appointment. That's how busy we are. And that leads up to, we're also busy because you couldn't find technicians. That's been a challenge as well.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, I know employee shortage is crazy everywhere,
Everywhere.
especially
Mhm.
service technicians. What are you guys
Mhm.
doing, as a dealership overall for employees and just employee shortages, and then specifically service technician shortages?
So service technicians have been a shortage as long as I think I've been in the business. But right now, I think it's even worse. It's like a drought. So what we have, excuse me, what we have been doing is we have been offering a sign-on bonus. But the sign-on bonus came with a little bit of pushback from the current technicians. Hey, why am I not getting that? So I said, no problem. You bring somebody in, and I will bonus you out as well. So that actually allowed us in the last 6 months to bring in 6 new technicians. And I have to tell you, my shop is jamming. Everybody is happy because they were part of bringing somebody else on. They can't come in now and say, hey, that guy has too much work. Hey, you brought him in. What do you mean much work? So it allows people to work as a team. And that's my whole goal with this business, is if everybody works together and is engaged, I think the productivity is 100 times better.
I agree. Is there something like specific that you guys look for when you do hire a candidate, whether it's, for the front end of the dealership or the back end of the dealership?
I look for longevity. I look for them to be in a spot, whether it's in a prior business, whether it's their home situation. I look for stability. Stability and longevity for me is everything. Because if you're loyal, whether it's to your family or to your previous job, or whatever career you had, I think that speaks volumes about an individual, and it allows us to know that, hey, if we do bring them on and we do invest our time in them, they will stay with us and they will continue to bring that good foundation in there.
That's great. And, I just have one last question. EV is such
Sure.
a big topic right now. And, I know electric vehicles are coming. We all know they're coming.
They're here.
I'd love to
They're
know,
here.
yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on it and where you think your dealership is going to go with just this EV evolution.
EV's here and it's here to stay, and it's only going to get greater. I have taken the initiative and installed our level 2 and level 3 chargers around the facility. So we're prepared and we have been selling out. Every EV that comes in is sold prior to it's hitting the ground. Prior, people are waiting at the truck. Hey, did you get my car in today? Did you get my car in? They're fascinated by the fact that they never have to go to a gas station. Whether our infrastructure is ready everywhere, that I'm not certain about, and I'm a little nervous about. But there's a lot of chargers that can be, you know, had at home, really inexpensive and very easy to use. All the local, like PSE&G, Con Edison, they have so many credits that they're willing to give back that it's practically free for you to install a unit at home. There's so many different to go about it, and I think that it's going to be 90% EV probably within 10 years.
Wow, it's crazy.
It is
Our industry is shifting for sure.
overnight.
Yeah, yeah. Which it's a good time to be in the automotive industry. I'm
Oh,
excited.
I,
I'm
I love
excited
it.
to see where we go.
I love
Janet,
it.
thank you so much for
Me
taking the
too.
time to join us
Thank you.
today. We are so excited to have you. I love what you're doing at your dealership and
Thank,
continue to want to watch your story. So we
thank you so
appreciate
much.
you. We appreciate our audience. Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thanks,
great day.
Susan.